Someone in my house tested positive for COVID. I was terrified, I got really upset. It now means that we don't think we'll see each other for about 2 months. They can't be there for me 24/7. We were actually hoping to get away to Paris. By the time I post this video, Christmas is going to have been a very long time ago. But I guess I could tell you about some of the things I got. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I guess it's the new year, so I might have some new people joining us, so nice to meet you. I just figured I'd sit down and do a really casual chatty get ready with me. It's been a while since I've done one of these sit down chit chat style videos, and I have a lot to update you on and more free time on my hands than I thought I'd have right now, so I guess that would be a really good place to start. I'm just gonna put this on so I can start doing my makeup and then I'll explain all. I'm just gonna start with a few skincare things to start off with. So I'm actually using some new skincare products recently. I was given these for Christmas by my auntie who knows a lot about skincare, beauty, hair, all of that sort of stuff. She always gets me really cool Christmas presents. And this year she got me like an Estee Lauder beauty gift set, and it had this moisturizer in it, this eye cream, it has like a nighttime serum and a face wash. But the two products I've loved especially from the set have been these two products right here that I'm using for my morning routine, and that's the Estee Lauder Day Wear Multi-Protection Antioxidant SPF 15 moisturizing cream. I don't know, it doesn't really say that on the bottle, it just says Day Wear. And then this little Estee Lauder Day Wear Eye, again, cooling antioxidant moisture gel cream, and I just feel like they've been so nice on my skin. Like, these are expensive products, they're not something I'd normally treat myself to, so it's really nice to have, like, I don't know, more expensive beauty products that I wouldn't normally buy for myself, and they're so cooling. I don't know if you're meant to put it on your eyelids, but I've just put it on my eyelids. You're probably not meant to put it on your eyelids, so don't follow what I do. Anyway, as for the life update, so as you guys know, I came home to the north, to Newcastle for Christmas. I'm living in London at the minute, for any of you that don't know, go check out my London vlogs. But came home for Christmas to be with my family. I was meant to leave on Friday last week. It's now Sunday today. I was meant to leave on Friday. And what goes and happens? Someone in my house tests positive for COVID. So we are all isolating. I am stuck in the north for an extra week. I moved my train ticket to next Friday. It has been quite difficult. Like, the person who got COVID was quite sick at the start of it, which was really scary. And I think for me, like, throughout this whole pandemic, I've been very scared of COVID, very cautious, tried to avoid large crowded situations and things. And even when they like loosened the restrictions and said, you know, you don't have to wear your face mask anymore, or you can meet in large groups now, I was still always a bit cautious and held off. But this has been like the first time since the pandemic started that I've actually been in close contact with someone who's tested positive. So that was quite scary for me, because whilst I knew the reality of the situation, I'd never actually had to deal with it in my personal life myself, which I was really fortunate. I mean, it's been going on for like 2 years now, so I'm lucky that this is my first encounter with COVID. There have been like false scares where friends have had false positives and they've done tests again, it's been negative, and PCR results have confirmed it was a false positive and things like that. But this is my first real time of actually seeing COVID in the flesh, and it was scary. And seeing how sick my family member was definitely made it hit home that this virus is here to stay and it might just become part of life now. So I did have a bit of a wobble at the start of the week when we found out, and I got quite upset and was worried for my family member, who is fine now. So, you know, don't worry and think it's super serious. Like, they are fine now, they're through the thick of it. They should be testing negative, I think, in the next day or two, which will be good. But yeah, it was really scary. Sorry, I'm just grabbing my mirror because I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see, and I'm sitting quite far away, so the camera isn't so close in my face, but I do need to look at this while I do my foundation. But yeah, like, it was really scary, and I think I just did not want to contract the virus at all. I was terrified, I got really upset. My family have been really good. Like, the person who's got COVID has been confined to the loft room and not really mingled at all with anyone. Like, they kind of haven't left that top floor for the past week. We're all doing tests every single day. We sent off PCR tests and all of ours came back negative. We've been sensible. I don't think we technically have to isolate as per the guidelines. If you had your booster jab 2 weeks ago, you don't need to isolate, I think is the case, which sounds silly to me. That just doesn't sound safe at all. I'm literally living in a house with someone who's tested positive, but as per the guidelines, I don't think we have to technically isolate, but we all have chosen to do that because we think it's safer and sensible. But I don't know, let me know if you know what the guidelines are. They change that frequently, it's hard to keep up, but I think we're just using common sense. But nearly out the thick of it, I found it really scary. I'm a bit nervous about going back to London. It has changed plans as well. Like, some of you will know my boyfriend from my vlogs. Like, we keep our relationship kind of private, I think, from the internet, but he does appear in some things, and we have done a Q&A and stuff, so you guys will know Yija by now. And he's going back home to Malaysia for like a month, so obviously I was meant to leave here on Friday, go and spend a week with him before he flies, and then he's gone for a month, but now I can't see him, which is really upsetting as well. And then the way that my annual leave has turned out, and like the way timelines have landed when he gets back to the UK, it now means that we don't think we'll see each other for about 2 months, which is kind of rubbish. Like, I know we can call each other. I feel like I've been dabbing this foundation for ages. I know we can call each other, but there is like an 8-hour time difference or something, so that's gonna make that difficult, and I'm a bit worried about it, especially like going back, having had such a lovely Christmas with my family. Sorry, I'm looking, it's really hard to talk and do makeup at the same time. I'm like looking in the viewfinder and then going across my mirror and stuff. Yes, 8-hour time difference, which is gonna be hard, and then it's hard having come from like a lovely warm family Christmas back to a house in an unfamiliar part of the country that I've only lived in for 4 months, with people I've only been friends with and known for 4 months, and I guess it's just a less comfortable, familiar environment, and then I don't have like that, I don't know, safety or comfort blanket of if things are getting tough I can just go see Yija and he's a bit of familiarity. Instead it's kind of like I've got a month and a half in London feeling a bit on my own. So that's a bit weird. I'm sure it'll be fine. Like, I do have my work friends, my housemates, I have my Cambridge friends that aren't far away, so if I'm really struggling I can go and see them. But I guess it is always hard this time in January. I found January quite difficult. Like, I feel really ready for spring now, and I think in my mind I'm going back to London and it's like, yay, it's spring and summer now and it's gonna be sunny and light, and it's just not yet. Like, I don't think I realised that it still will be cold and dark when I go back, and I'm expecting it to be warm because the north is cold and in my mind the south is hot. So that might be a bit of a reality shock, and it might hit hard, but I'm hoping all will be fine. I mean, maybe it's for the best that Yija is going away at this time. Not that I'm not gonna miss him, I'm gonna miss him terribly, but with the way COVID is at the minute, like the daily cases are the highest we've seen I think throughout the whole pandemic, which is terrifying, and we're getting to that really risky stage of like overwhelming hospitals and things. So it's probably best that I'm not trekking into central London to see him, and I will just have like a month and a half where I am just staying in my house, just going out for walks or jogs, or, you know, spending time with my housemates and just mixing with the people sort of in my bubble, and then not putting myself at risk. And I think after the fear of what's happened this new year, maybe that's what I need, just to put my mind at ease, just stay away from the hustle and bustle, the crowds, the COVID, and look after myself. I think for me, it's a really scary prospect getting COVID when I'm living in London, because it's not like you have your family around you to take care of you, do your groceries, cook for you. Like, I know my housemates are really, really lovely people and would get me anything I needed and help me out in any way they could. But it's just, it's different, isn't it? Like, they can't be there for me 24/7. They've got their own health to look after. They've got their own lives to lead. So I wouldn't want to like put onto them and expect them to go away and get me things, you know? So I think that would make things a lot harder. And then I'd feel guilty if like anyone else in the house was feeling stressed about it, or I'd feel really bad if I somehow passed it on to them or something. I'd feel responsible. Like, I know that's really silly to think, because you can only minimize the spread of this virus, and I think we're coming to a point now where it's not if I get COVID, it's when I get COVID. So I feel like that's kind of where we're at, where we're just having to learn to live with it. But it is still scary, and you still feel guilty. Like, if I got it and gave it to somebody, I'd feel awful. But you can't think like that, because it's just the nature of this virus. It's so transmissible, and everybody seems to have it at the minute. When you speak to like neighbours, friends, family, everybody knows someone who's got it or who is isolating with it at the minute, which is so scary to think. Anyway, moving away from COVID, Happy New Year everybody. Just to pick up the mood a bit, I don't want to just complain about COVID for 10 minutes. I'm feeling really good about the new year. I know this has been a bit of a rubbish start to the new year, but that is not dampening my optimism in any way. I'm feeling really, really positive about, I don't know, I just like the idea of a reset, of a fresh start, and that's what the change of the year feels like for me. I know you can set yourself goals at any point and decide to make changes whenever you want, but New Year for me is just such a shift in my mind and my mentality. I'm like, oh yes, it's a new year, new beginnings, and I know we're coming out of the darkness and the cold of winter and things, which is nice. I haven't got any set plans in the diary actually. Like, I think this is the first time in my life where I'm not like arranging to see loads of people in London, or I have things coming up. I do have annual leave booked in February, so I'm going to be coming back home to be with family, which is nice again. So I already know that once I've gone back to London, I'll be back here again in 5 weeks, which is reassuring. And then I've got a week booked off in March for Yuja's birthday. We were actually hoping to get away to Paris. I've never actually been to Paris before. I've only been to France once, so I'd be really excited to go there, but not sure that's going to happen anymore with COVID. Oh, back to COVID again, there's no escape. But we'll see. It would be nice to get away. I haven't been abroad on holiday. I was thinking about this the other day. I haven't been away since like July 2019, and if you live in the UK, you will know my pain because it's cold and rainy like 365 days of the year, so it feels like my skin hasn't seen the sun in so long. I'm desperate for a holiday and a break. I've even started taking Vit D tablets because I was a bit worried, like, wow, I'm starved of sunlight. Sorry, I'm not really talking you through the products I'm using because they're literally all the same as in my last chatty get ready with me video, because I don't really switch up my everyday makeup looks. The only thing that's different is my skincare, which is why I talked you through that at the start of the video. But I'm trying to think if I've got anything else to talk about. I feel like my life's a little bit boring at the minute. Maybe I could talk to you about Christmas. Like, by the time I post this video, Christmas probably is going to have been a very long time ago. But I guess I could tell you about some of the things I got. I actually probably can't get up and show you them. Like, my favourite gift, or one of my favourite gifts, is from Yuja, and he took it back in his suitcase because it's a little bit heavy and we didn't want it to get damaged, so he took it back to protect it, and I would really love to show you it. Maybe remind me if I forget to when I'm back in London and I have a hold of it again. And it's like this traditional Japanese charcoal black teapot. Like, I love tea. I mean, which British person doesn't love tea? But you guys know I love tea. I've probably talked about tea on my channel before. And it's like a teapot with a strainer inside it that you can put your tea leaves in and sort of like brew it yourself, and it's so lovely. It's really nice. I can't wait to use it. I actually need to look up how to look after it, because I don't know if there's like a special way of washing it that I might need to do before I use it or after I've used it and things. So I'll look that up. That was really nice. My brother got me a really lovely handbag from, he went to Edinburgh and he brought back like a Harris tweed handbag, if anyone knows that. It's like a little blue handbag with like the tartan pattern on it, and I love it. And it was such a surprise because my brother and I never buy each other Christmas gifts, and this was the first year that we've actually bought each other things. My mum actually texted me and was like, Emma, alert, your brother has bought you a Christmas present this year. And I was like, what? We never do Christmas presents. So I had to last minute go out and buy him something because I didn't expect it. And I was like, I can't receive something from him and then not give something back. I would feel so awful. So I ran out and got him a gift. They were like my two favourite presents. And then my parents got me some like really comfy clothes sort of stuff. Like, my mum bought me these really nice fleece lined leggings that I'm literally living in at the minute because slouchy clothes are everything. We're now working from home again, so I don't need to get dressed up in office clothes. So I literally live in these comfy slouchy leggings. I've been running in them as well just because they're warm, and I didn't bring any running stuff up with me, and as per my New Year's resolution, I'm trying to move my body more, so I don't want to let not having the right clothes get in the way of doing exercise. So I was just like, I can wear these black leggings, they'll be fine. And then she got me a really nice purple jumper from H&M, which I've worn loads. You'll have seen it on my Instagram. I'm always wearing it because it's so comfy. And then some more practical things like a waterproof coat, because as I've said, living in England, it rains a lot. I say that, but it's actually really sunny outside right now. It was chucking it down yesterday when I went on my run, which was actually quite nice because the drizzle was really cooling. But right now it's really sunny, so maybe I should go on a walk this afternoon instead. I was gonna film a video. I was meant to film it yesterday but didn't get around to it. Oh, the sun has put me in such a good mood. I don't know if it's just me, but as soon as I see a tiny bit of sun, my mood just instantly picks up, and I think because it's been so dark and cold this winter, obviously I am in the north, we've had snow as well, so lots of snow, lots of rain, so seeing the sun, I'm just like, oh, spring is on the way, and new beginnings and warmth and more light. I really miss the light, light mornings and things, like light evenings. It's really hard, I think, for me when it gets dark in the evenings, because then I can't go out, like if I want to go on a walk or run, I don't necessarily feel safe to or want to do that on my own, which kind of limits my freedom a bit. So I am trying to get in the habit of, in my lunch break at work, going out for a walk rather than just sitting in and watching Netflix or something, because I can do that anytime. I can do that in the evening when it's dark, but while it's light I should make use of the hours we have daylight and get out on a walk. I've never been into like podcasts before, and that's another thing I'm trying to get into, but I always struggle because I'd rather be reading or watching something. Like I find it really hard to listen and concentrate if I'm not also looking at it at the same time. But my cure to that is going on walks and listening to podcasts, because I'm taking in the scenery and listening at the same time. Whereas I think if I just tried to lie down on my bed and listen to a podcast, then I'd probably fall asleep. So that's a new thing I'm trying to get into. What about you guys? Are you getting into anything new this year? Any New Year's resolutions you want to tell me about? Go check out my New Year's resolutions video if you're stuck for New Year's resolutions, or comment yours below, because I'm always looking for inspiration for new unhealthy positive habits to get into. I'm literally getting mascara everywhere. There's so much pressure when you do this on camera, because like I'm trying to talk at the same time and look in my mirror, but also look in my camera, and then I'm looking for like the next tool or makeup thing that I want to use next, and I'm like, oh, where am I? I'm all over the place, and then I smudge my makeup. But see, I'm making an absolute mess of this. I've just used the wrong brush. I've just used my lipstick brush on my face. Good one, Emma. My skin feels so dry at the minute. Like no matter what products I use, I've normally got very, very oily skin, or like oily combination skin. I'm prone to breakouts, but my skin is so dry. I don't know if it's like the change of scenery from coming up from down south up to the north, and maybe it's drier up here, but normally I find it the other way around. I think with it being so cold recently and with the snowy weather and the ice and stuff, it's really dried my skin out. But I just don't know what to use. Like I've tried everything. I use hemp on my hands because my hands have been drying out really badly, and obviously with COVID in my house, I'm sanitizing my hands at least 100 times a day. Every time I touch something, I'm like, sanitize. So my hands are super dry. I've been using hemp hand cream from Boots, which is my absolute lifesaver. If you get dry hands and you haven't found a solution to that yet, try hemp hand cream. I live by it. Like whenever I get dry hands, it is my go-to. Probably best to put it on before bed rather than if you're going out, because it's very greasy and oily, and I rather like put it in my hands and let it soak in my hands at night than rub it off. But it's a miracle. It's a lifesaver. Now I'm gonna go do my hair off camera because I'm not close enough to a plug or a mirror or any of like my hairdryer, my straighteners and things, and then I'll come back and close out this video. I've just realized I forgot to do my lipstick, so I'm gonna do that real quick now. And that is that, hair and makeup all done. I hope you've enjoyed this chatty get ready with me style video. Let me know in the comments if you do like this kind of video, and I'll make more of them. It feels like I don't just sit down and chat freely enough, but I do like sitting down and doing chatty videos. But I can't believe I managed to sit and talk for like 20 to 30 minutes and just ramble on. I feel like I haven't said anything meaningful, but maybe it was good just to get things off my chest. I hope you've enjoyed it, and once again, I hope you're all enjoying the new year. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.